First up, we have the Synology RT2600AC. This router looks pretty old-fashioned with its raised design and its passive cooling grills. But what it offers in the inside is so much more. This is a 1.73 GHz dual-core Wi-Fi router that incorporates the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz radios and offers hardware-assisted Layer 7 traffic control. The router also comes with 4 antennas that can be removed and are adjustable to your liking. On the back is the power switch, along with a WAN port, 4 LAN ports, power jack, a USB 3.0 port, and a reset pinhole. There are also buttons on the side for turning the Wi-Fi on and off, and you also get the WPS button. It also has mounting holes on the bottom for a simple wall mount. The RT2600AC lets you use a single SSID for both 2.4 and 5 GHz, automatically connecting each device to the correct frequency. You also have this cool feature called dual WAN support. And you can use this for some basic load balancing with failover or for simple failover. Setting up the router is very easy and can be done within 5 minutes on a desktop or through the DS Router app on the smartphone. And you can also use the RT2600AC as a mini NAS by adding a drive. It supports Synology's Cloud Station server, which can be used to keep files in sync from any of your network devices using its ShareSync client. Clearly, you won't have the same volume management and RAID capabilities you will find in a standalone NAS. But for the price, you're getting both a high-performance router and an inexpensive way to back up your data. The router can also be controlled through 2 means, the Synology Router Manager or the mobile app, but you don't get more functionality on the mobile app. On the other hand, the Synology Router Manager tells a different story. It can be accessed through a web browser, but instead of a standard web page, you're presented with a virtual desktop environment, complete with icons to launch apps and a taskbar that lets you switch between running apps, access settings, and see status information at a glance. You can also set a schedule to allow or deny devices internet access at certain times of the day. And there's even Apple Time Machine support for backing up Macs. If you know a lot about networking and want a very powerful router to fiddle around with the router settings from time to time, this is the router for you. Next up, we have the Amplify HD Mesh Router. This stylishly designed system comes with a dual band router cube and 2 oversized mesh points that you plug into a wall outlet. The system is a snap to install, and you can easily manage and monitor it using the free mobile app. And Amplify delivers the fastest throughput I have ever seen from a mesh router. It uses 6 high-density, long-range antennas to cover up to 20,000 square feet and offers theoretical throughput speeds of up to 5.25 Gbps. This router is tastefully designed, and it is meant to be on display instead of hidden away like most traditional routers. Regarding the looks, it has a soft white finish and an LED base that flashes white during the configuration process and glows solid white when the router is in ready mode. The front of the router has a round 1.6-inch full-color LCD touchscreen that displays the current time, day, and date. Tapping the screen once changes the view to show your current internet speeds. Tapping it twice displays the router and WAN IP addresses, and tapping it 3 times displays its current throughput speeds. The Amplify HD router offers more line connectivity than either the Luma or OnHub. As with the other mesh routers I have tested, the Amplify HD is managed using an iOS or Android app. This router also allows you to segregate the 2 radio bands and have separate SSIDs, making it easier to manage your network traffic. The app also opens to an overview screen, which displays the status of the router and the mesh points, and shows the number of connected clients, as well as upload and download speeds. So it's a perfect router for your house or office if you have multiple stories. Next up, we have the Google OnHub. The Google OnHub is a well-designed, compact wireless router that offers easy and convenient setup from any Android or iOS device, and it includes some promising hardware for the future smart home features. This is one of the best-looking, most radically designed routers on the market. This is also a router to have displayed in the living room instead of hidden away in the basement. It's also likely the most convenient and fun to use. But the OnHub single local network port will disappoint anyone who needs to hardwire multiple products that aren't wireless friendly. Coming to the specs, this router has a top speed of 1300 Mbps on the 5 GHz frequency band, and a top ceiling speed of 600 Mbps on the 2.4 GHz band at the same time. It's also powerful, running a dual-core 1.4 GHz Qualcomm processor with 1 GB of RAM, which is double that of most other high-end routers. It also has 13 antennas covering a large amount of range, but you can also get the Google Wi-Fi extender, which will give more coverage. And this extender can also be used as a standalone router. If you don't want any hassle with your router, from setting it up to controlling it, then this is the router for you. Next up, we have TP-Link Deco. Deco is another mesh router that covers my house better. What I like about this router is the ease of setup and use. Plus, the simple design blends with almost any place you install this router. And the setup was really simple. Just place any router where you have your main internet cable and follow the simple instructions in the app. And if you have bought more than 2 of these, place it where your Wi-Fi is usually poor. Now install the app and add the routers accordingly. You now have more coverage around your house. But the app can also be used for router management, monitoring who's connected to your network, blacklisting unwanted devices, and speed test and parental controls. Now coming to the specs, it has a dual-band 802.11 AC systems and offers 2x2 MIMO connection for a maximum speed of 400 megabits per second on the 2.4 GHz spectrum and about 860 megabits per second on the 5 GHz spectrum. In short, this router is a worthy entry to the low end of the mesh networking market. And it also includes network-based antivirus and excellent parental controls. Next up, we have Luma. If all you care about in a router is that it's easy to set up and use, run out and get the Luma Surround Wi-Fi router. This is also available as a single unit for $149. The Luma is for those who don't know about the details of networking and don't care. The tiny hexagonal devices don't provide a lot of range, but it does have good speeds. Rather than multicolored blinking LEDs like most routers, or a touchscreen like the Amplify, Luma features a single large circular light around its center. While you can use a single Luma on its own as a standalone router in a small home, you can connect up to 3 of these to create a mesh and cover a larger area like the TP-Link. The Luma is also a 2x2 router that delivers 2 independent lanes of data traffic, while using a pair of leading technologies, MIMO for efficient traffic management and beamforming to better direct the signal to the receiving antenna on a connected device. And the Luma also tops out at a maximum throughput of 1.3 Gbps. All in all, the Luma is expensive. It also has a disappointing range for the price. But it is very compact, looks good, and is very easy to operate.